Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So how are we doing here, guys? So Rainbow Slash, how you doing there, my friend? Okay, so I think the stream's just getting going. I'm not seeing it showing up yet, but it should do in a few moments. There we go, awesome. Right, fantastic, here we are live, fantastic. Okay, so I do have in front of me War Plan Orange, the US strategy to defeat Japan 1897, 1945, by Edward S. Miller. Now, I've started reading this. I did start it some time ago, but I've started to get back into it. I have a terrible tendency to change books and entirely change, like, bloody time periods on whims, really. Quite bad like that. Now, let's see. I'm trying to find a part here that I need to get back to. Hello there, Justin. How you doing there, my friend? Good to see you. Hello there, Keith. How are we doing there? Okay, just trying to find the section in the book I'm looking for here. Right, okay. So I'm going to read this section here from War Plan Orange, which I do find to be extremely relevant to what we're doing here. So, this is obviously in regards to the explanation behind War Plan Orange, like the idea behind it. So, in Phase 1, Japan would seize the lightly defended American outposts and assure itself of access to oil and raw materials of territories to the south and west. The US Navy concentrated at home ports would be unable to prevent these takeovers, but could mobilize in the Eastern Pacific, which was considered a sanctuary despite the possibility of hit-and-run raids. So this would detail Phase 1 of War Plan Orange, obviously what was to be expected during the war between obviously Blue, which would be the US, and Orange, Japan. Now this is obviously what we find ourselves taking part in right now. What we need to do here is really learn and really see how we can effectively break out from the US's actual war plan here of War Plan Orange. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter if THG is like, okay, I'm going to explicitly follow the Rainbow Plan, but in effect, he's going to go with the tenants here. I'll go on to Phase 2 and you understand more of what I mean. In Phase 2, Blue Expedition, spearheaded by superior naval and air power, would steam westwards. Intense but small-scale battles would procure Japanese islands of the Central Pacific. So we'd be talking about like the Marshall Islands, Marianas, that sort of thing. Well, definitely the Marshall Islands, the Caroline Islands as well. Japan... Right, okay. Advanced naval and air bases would be established and supply lines secured. Japan would resist where expendable forces trading distance for time and erosion of the attacking fleet, but the United States would gradually win the attrition battles. After 2 or 3 years, it would gain a base in the Philippines. A progressively tightening blockade would sever Japanese ocean trade. At a time and place of Japan's choosing, the two battle fleets would meet at a cataclysmic gunnery engagement with the American dreadnoughts, in which the American dreadnoughts would win. So as you can imagine, that is what is happening. It's not long until we actually reach Phase 2. We're still currently in Phase 1 here. We can definitely see when we'll change into Phase 2. So now Phase 3 goes on to say, at the war's third phase, Japan's insularity would prove fatal. American forces would advance northwards through islands paralleling the coast of Asia to establish new bases for economic warfare. They would choke off all of Japan's imports and ravage its industries and cities by air bombardment until it sued for peace, even though its proud army stood intact in the home islands and in China. The particular campaign plans would also be determined by geography. In Phase 1, American soldiers marooned in the Philippines would fight a sacrificial delay in action on fortress positions at the mouth of Manila Bay, so like Bataan. The fleet mobilized at Pearl Harbor, where it would be secured from a major attack, initially would limit its action to the relatively favorable waters of the Central Pacific, jamming at fringe outposts and seeking opportunities for battle. Orange shipping would be chased from the world's oceans. A campaign of trade interdiction would be mounted in the Western Pacific, despite the great distance. After about 6 months, the United States would commence the Phase 2 operational offensives. Amphibious shock troops supported by sea and air power would crunch through the Japanese-held islands of Micronesia. So I'm going to be tongue-tied here. Advanced fleet bases would be constructed in the Marshall and Caroline Islands and the southern Philippines. The Marianas might also be seized as an air base. After winning the decisive sea engagement at unknown time and place, a hugely augmented Blue Expeditionary Force would launch Phase 3. When Okinawa was captured, the isolation of Japan would be complete. Blockade and bombardment would compel it to surrender. Okay, so obviously that was an excerpt there from War Plan Orange, the US strategy to defeat Japan 1897 to 1945, by Edward S. Miller. So that was obviously the new version there, the up-to-date version, I suppose you could call it. Sorry about being a little bit out of breath. I just come back from gym class as well, so I'm a little bit like, yeah, energetic, I suppose you could say. Hello there, Carl, Michael, David, Keith, Justin, Rainbow Slash, how you guys doing? Okay. An idea could be hitting those heavy ships in harbour with subs in Suva, another would be hitting Nemean harbours with subs if you can hit into the harbour. I have no idea if they have mines. Well, this is what we need to really recognise here. So currently we are in what would be classed as Phase 1 of War Plan Orange, or at least the American War Plan Orange. So we need to figure out how we defeat that. So now, of course, in War Plan Orange, it did assume that the US the US assets over here in the strategic port of Pearl Harbor would be safe from attack. Now, obviously, we did have the Pearl Harbor attack. We attacked on Pearl Harbor, the December 7th attack, which has changed that. Obviously, we did damage some of the actual battle fleet over here, but that situation is not going to last too long. Now, we're still in December 1941, the 30th. So we still have a couple months, really, of what would be considered Phase 1, of which would be Japan's seizing outposts and seizing resources. Now, in War Plan Orange, it did assume that Japan would be trading with European colonial powers over here to gain the required war material. Now, of course, things did go differently here. Now, of course, we are seizing this. We are actually doing this through conquest. But the fact remains here. So in reality, yes, we do fight here against the Dutch, we do fight here against the British Empire. I suppose in a relatively limited part, the New Zealanders and the Australians, and I suppose the French to a very small degree. I mean, I don't know if we're actually technically at war with France. I don't know whether the islands out here would be held by Free France or Vichy, or the Vichy regime. I'd imagine probably the Vichy regime, though I'm not entirely sure this time. If we could clear that one up, that'd be fantastic. Of course, the Canadians as well. And then obviously the Raj and etc, etc. But for the most part, we are definitely fighting a war against the Americans, so the Blue-Orange War, of which War Plan Orange does indeed prescribe. So we need to figure out how we can actually defeat them. How do we stop them from, well, devastating us economically? That's going to be the question. I think we need to take a look at how we might best use our tactics. I suppose this is where the Fiji operations are really going to come into play, actually. If I can remove the American ports, air bases in the area, really try to roll them back across the Pacific towards the US, that would be quite advantageous. I suppose the thing is, we need to have control of the skies in the Central Pacific. If I can control the skies in the Central Pacific, that does give me quite a solid position there. And we can't really rely upon our naval power here in the Central Pacific for too long. So I think what we need to do here is instead... now, because obviously we do not have much in the way of commerce raiders, we do have armed merchant ships. We do have... I suppose we could send out light cruisers and stuff like that, even like heavy cruisers, but I'd say probably light cruisers would be better at it. The only thing is we don't have those assets to spare, because we don't have them in abundance to begin with. And the threat is very real to our forces. There's very much a real threat out here in the Central Pacific to small forces. Though, we still have opportunities for commerce raiding. Though I think the commerce raiding is actually going to be persecuted from the air for us. We could definitely do that over here on the Australian coastline if we actually do take Noumea. Okay, so read the comments here. The thing that Japan did not do was hit the logistics of the Americans. The big thing would be hitting his troops on ships, just like he wants you to do. That should be a determining factor. Okay. Place your subs there and you can stop your steamroll material. I'm getting ahead here, but your plan to bring all your carriers and BBs into one huge task force or split to... well, we will get to a point at which we are going to be suffering penalties if we have all of the actual carriers in one task force. I think there's only a certain amount, and then it's like a diminishing return in the command and control, or basically the coordination. What we'll probably do then is have two Kiributai, so air fleet, well, yeah, the first air fleet and the second air fleet. So what we'll do is we'll have 3 fleet carriers and at least 1 light carrier, and then obviously a escort carrier to each of those groups. Now, I wouldn't want them to be operating too distant from each other either. I'd probably use them in the same theatre, but have them a couple miles apart. The reason, not even like very close by, but basically operates as 2 separate groups just to maintain the coordination benefits, as well as it would allow us to have additional escorts in the area. And I suppose it does give you that flexibility, which is always quite nice. And if one task force is hit at least, then the other might not be hit and might be able to respond without actual retaliation as well. But we'll have to see how that goes. Okay. No, we definitely need to fight the campaign. We definitely do need to win the campaign down here in the south. I think this is going to be the major area. Now, we are nearing our objective, and we very much have to take this into consideration. At the moment, we have Cheetos over here, Cheetos over here, whatever you want to call it. So we do have the E13A1 Jenks, we have the F1M2 Peeps. Now, the Jenks are going to be absolutely essential to our campaign success down here. Absolutely essential. And I really can't overstate that. They are unbelievably important. Now, we do have them run a naval search over here. We are, let's see, so we are 10 hexes away there from Tulagi. And we will be closing in. I suppose when we do arrive at this position, we'll be, yeah, we're still within 10 hexes of Tulagi. We'll be within 8 hexes of Luganville. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take Cheetos, and we're going to take 2 of the Jake squadrons, so 2 of the E13A1s, and we're going to have them use. So I'm going to use the Cheetos one, or Cheeto, how the hell you pronounce it? So I'm going to have you run reconnaissance. So you're going to run reconnaissance over Tulagi. So Tulagi is targeted now. Then what we're going to do here then is grab the C detachment, the 16th KUT. There we go. Reconnaissance, yes please. Okay. Run reconnaissance over Luganville. Obviously it's out of range, but once we do enter into range, we'll be good to go. Now, if I take a look over here, I'd not be within range there of FAT. Which is obviously out of our range. But the good news is we'll be able to actually gather some important information there. I might consider actually increasing the amount of float plane activity in the area, just really to try and, like, identify what's going on. Though it might not be worthwhile considering the fact that we do not want to be fatiguing our pilots here too early. Now, we are looking alright in terms of fuel. I mean, the battleships here in Kirishima are carrying quite a lot of endurance there. I mean, that is pretty nice. The carriers are at lowest about 5,054 endurance, which is still pretty decent. We can still make that work. We're not too far away from our centres of power over here at the Marshall Islands, nor from the Caroline Islands. So we are obviously moving the amount of fuel down here as well. Do you really want to risk direct detection of your ships using those Jakes? Well, it's a difficult one, really. It is a very difficult one. I suppose we are in a rough position right now. And if we, well, we're not rough, I suppose that's not the right way to describe it. But if we take a look over here, we are 22 hexes out from Noumea. Tomorrow we will be 18 hexes out from Noumea. So we're only a couple days out from Noumea. I don't know. I mean, I could probably stop the operations here at Tulagi, considering we're landing there next turn anyhow. So it might be worthwhile. We might cancel it to Tulagi. Perhaps. But the thing is, I have no actual information of this area. Though actually, let's assess this. So we have no port. Well, we have 1 port capacity. We have no airfields. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually cancel that one. So we'll go back over here. Let's see. I'm going to actually increase the amount of activity from the E13A Jakes. E3A1, sorry. Naval search, have that increased to about 90% search, 10% rest. Right. Set all E13A1 Jakes. How many of them are actually running night operations, actually? Okay. We do have a good couple. I'm actually going to take the E7s over here. I'm going to have them... Right, these guys are running 100%, so we might get away with that. And we're going to have them run... I'll have them run night operations. There we go. Yeah, well, this is it. Of course, they are float planes, and he doesn't know whether they're from an actual... carrier. I mean, this is it, but not from the carriers, they're from an actual warship. I suppose we could get away with it to a degree. It is a good point, Razor, and I think it's one of those that we'll have to really debate amongst ourselves as to whether it is the right move to make. I mean, yeah, as pointed out there by Anno, they are float planes. He cannot know if they're from a seaplane carrier, cruiser, or battleship. The only thing to worry about is the fact that he may... he may recognize the actual squadrons. So, for example, Cheetos 1 would be a dead giveaway. We could maybe get away with the 16th KUT, considering that he may not know those units or recognize it. Also, obviously, the Cheetos is actually, well, named after the bloody host ship. And indeed, Falcon, that would be amazing. So, I don't know. What do we think here? I think I might take the... I'm going to take an element of the 16th. Yeah, I'm going to take an element of the 16th. I'll have Sea Detachment. I'd like to have some forewarning of what is to come. Oh, do I? It's a difficult question because in part, I do want to know what's actually going on to a degree. I'd like to have some forewarning of the area. In fact, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a very difficult question. I suppose we won't run reconnaissance as of yet until we are much closer, or at least a few days closer. Maybe a day closer or 2 days. So we'll hold off for the time being then. Reluctantly, I would like to have that information, but it's a good point raised. Okay, so naval search, just go 100% then. Just really rapidly, well, just really mount up that naval search. It's a difficult question. Can you rename them? No, unfortunately not. Right. So obviously we'd be 10 hexes away. No, we'd be 8 hexes away from Luganville. 18, 16. No, he has no air capacity over here. He has air capacity here, of course, in Noumea. He doesn't have air capacity on any of these islands. And my worry really is, well, something I'd like to actually try and figure out is whether he has his actual float planes, well, his patrol boats based over here. I mean, his float planes as well could definitely be placed there. We wouldn't particularly know about that. So it's a difficult one. Also, please place those subs between places like Sydney, Noumea, and Fiji. The more you can stop from coming together. Well, what we might do then is actually take one of the submarines over here. I mean, I have 3 of them currently at the moment. I do have another one over here at Savai. I do need to try and protect this area. See, I have no idea whether he actually suspects my intentions regards to New Caledonia. I don't know whether he's actually moved additional troops here, because we don't have any information. We might take a submarine or 2 submarines over here from the Samoan Islands and actually have them shift down this way. Though I'm somewhat reluctant to allow him to move from Pago, considering that he has a lot here. Well, he has 3 ships over here. So I think what we'll do is actually keep the 3 submarines over here, considering there's actual blood in the water. I could take the submarine over here to survive the I-15 and have I-15 actually move over into this area. But I think what we'll do is maintain our presence at Noumea, just outside with the I-175. Now, I do have the submarines over here covered in the American, well, the US, bloody hell, the Australian coastline. So covered in here currently Sydney and then Brisbane. If I have submarines out here, the issue is it's not going to be entirely likely that I actually hit anything. We could spend a long time out there and actually never hit anything. We could spend some time out there and hit something. It's hard to say. At least if we're off the coast of Australia, it does mean that he's not going to be able to move his forces as easily. He's going to be somewhat more reluctant to do so, so that does also buy some time. Okay. So we'll keep up our activity out here at Noumea. I'd say we'll probably patrol this area a little bit more. So let's see here. We'll change our secondary patrol point. There we go. I'm going to put them on absolute threat tolerance, I do believe, just to make sure that if something does come over here, it does attack. So let's see. A couple units over here. We do have, of course, yeah, these submarines over here, I-173, though of course you are starting to run low on endurance. Place the subs near the left side of Noumea. It's the closest. Yep, we're doing that one. We do also want to try and cover it over here. I might have a submarine. Yeah, I'll have one of them actually shifted from Fiji to Noumea. It wouldn't hurt due to the fact that they're probably discovered already. So I'll have actually start that patrol here. So you're going to head out that way. Well, fine. There we go. Linger a day in each. I suppose we need to just cover this area. The thing is, yes, we are definitely spotted here. I suppose the issue is, does that really impact on our performance in regards to using these submarines? Because if they're spotted, does that mean that they're not going to be able to get in for the attack? But I don't know. I don't know if that's an actual thing to consider or not. I think we'll be okay, but obviously it would be nice to have less detection. Now, I-8 is the one with the float plane. However, the float plane is damaged here at the moment. I'm going to take about 2 days for that to be repaired. So nothing much there is available right now. Okay. And let's take a look. Obviously, that's not going to be running out this turn. So we'll change the actual patrol. And then you spot a CL near New Zealand. Saw a carrier in peak? Did we? I'm not entirely sure if we... I must have missed that one. Did we spot a carrier? Because I didn't see anything like that. And I'm not debating whether we did or not. I don't know. I must have missed that one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But we'll keep up our activity out there anyhow. Oh, Pearl, okay. We see supposedly a heavy cruiser out there. And I don't know about a carrier, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'd be really kind of happy if there was a carrier there at Pearl Harbor. Because at the end of the day, that would mean there wouldn't be a carrier down there in Fiji. It's a difficult question because honestly, I do not know. I must have missed that report. But it's an interesting one to have missed. Very interesting one to have missed. Okay, so... we do have the actual shipping down here, so we are... yeah, we do have 2 submarines over here in the area, which is very nice. Both of them are actually operating search planes, which is fantastic. And so I could actually try to hunt down his forces over here quite effectively. We did seem to have moved at the right time. Look at your YouTube video. I never watch my stuff, man. Never, ever watch my stuff. Reluctantly is really the best way to describe it. Okay, so southeast. Where could it be heading? So, we do have some spots in... well, he has some information on I-7, but he doesn't have information on I-24. I can only suspect that they'll be heading to Palmyra, because there's really nothing else out that way. So I'm going to say Palmyra. Okay. And that's quite good, because we already have a submarine out here at Palmyra, so we can actually try to meet them on the way. So what we'll do is actually try to intercept the enemy here. We'll head about there. And I say, and like a crazy man, and chase all the ship you spot. Within reason, obviously, we do need to take into account our fuel. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the patrol here. And let's see, where would they be heading if they were headed to Palmyra? Right. So like this then, okay, so we need to patrol this area here. Okay, patrol about that point there. Not destroyers, of course, but I still say anything like a heavy cruiser. It depends, really. We're not going to waste fuel chasing down a heavy cruiser unless we can actually hit it. See, the thing is, it's like we could chase it all day, but if we can't hit it, we can't hit it, and there's no point burning the fuel trying to do so. Okay, we are going to try and hunt down these ships over here, though, considering the fact that they are within striking distance and pretty damn close. Now, if this is actually something like a cargo ship in there, then we'll be able to actually catch up. And we do supposedly have a light cruiser there and destroyer. Now, I do have I-18, I have I-22 over here. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we can only try and guess where they're going. They might not be heading to Palmyra, but that is like a way we can try and guess where they're heading. Like, try and preempt their travel, really. It's the best thing we've got, really. It's the best thing we've got. Okay. So, what do you guys think, then? How do we try to defeat Warplan Orange? How do we try to... well, I'm going to put them on high threat tolerance. Yeah, how do we really prevent him from gaining that momentum? That's going to be an interesting thing. Okay, I'm going to put you on high threat tolerance. Make sure you actually probably... well, you're actually trying to go in for the attack there. Now, I'm going to send these 3 submarines over here to Johnston Island on their way back to KYJ. It gives us some time to actually increase the amount of fuel in KYJ. But also then we do have an opportunity here to try and torpedo the light cruiser or destroyers. And there's 2 other ships as well here. So if I could try to actually torpedo his ship in here, that'd be quite nice. But that can work with larger ports like San Diego. Yeah, that's what we did beforehand, actually. And do you think that Kiributai with the current planes could secure a victory against the 4 US carriers? See, the thing is, it's going to come down to a lot of pilot experience. It's going to come down to really who gets the first hit on who. And there's so many factors involved with carrier and carrier combat. It's honestly incredibly... It's like an art in of itself. It's like, for example, Kiributai here is commanded by Rear Admiral Tamon Yamaguchi. You can see his inspiration, leadership, that sort of stuff. Obviously, what matters more is his aggression and air, then obviously administration, that sort of stuff. But of course, then it does come down to the individual carrier captains. It comes down to the actual captains of the actual battleships, everything like that. And then, of course, it comes down to individual pilot experience and really altitude. It comes down to armament, it comes down to morale. And there's so many different things here. The good news is, it's like we are more likely to win a victory against the 4 American carriers than we have 6 flat tops. We have, I'd imagine we probably have a very similar number of actual aircraft. Each of the US carriers, I think, are 90. I'm not entirely sure if they're all 90 capacity, but I would imagine something in the region of about 90 planes each. So what we'll do then is obviously 90 times 4, which is obviously 360 planes. So I still have a advantage, a numerical advantage in terms of actual planes. Though, of course, it depends really on how many of his are bombers, fighters, torpedo bombers. Now, we do have a fantastic advantage in the fact that the American torpedo boat, torpedo bomber, the Devastator, is rather short range, so that's quite good. That actually really works in our favour. The SPD Dauntless is pretty damn dangerous. I think they have about 8 hexes of range. So it does outrange our own D3A1 Val dive bomber. But of course, yeah, I mean, it has a much heavier bomb load as well at about 1,000 pounds. But of course, then we do have the ultimate advantage in the fact that we have the B5N2 Kates and the A620s. And the Kates have 9 hexes of range, which is very nice. I mean, it's about 360 mile range. And, yeah, at the end of the day, we have them in great numbers, and they are carrying torpedoes. The A620 is going to be extremely valuable. The thing with Kiributai is that we are not entirely A620 orientated anymore. We do have some A5M4s in there to try and make up some of the numbers. What we might be able to do here then is, while they're actually board with carriers, they are building up the carrier training that they need, which is going to be very handy. I think it's a Akagi that's carrying them. Yeah, Akagi has some A5M4s. We do have them in reserves, which are quite nice. As you see here, they're carrier capable, but they're not carrier trained. Obviously, what we don't want to do is make sure they are carrier trained. So the good news is, should we return to truck, what we can actually do then is have them, well, converted, well, actually upgraded to A6M20s, which would be very nice. It'd be very good, because at the end of the day, we'd have another squadron that is actually available, with carrier training, which is very nice. Well, the carrier capable and carrier trained, which is the important part there. Okay, submarine warfare from memory I-21 to I-24 is very good at delivering mines. Use them to sow small minefields at rear bases. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Hello there, John Murphy. How you doing there, my friend? Okay, the information may not be correct. It could be a misidentified ship. Yep, exactly. So I think what we need to do here is we need to radically overhaul our submarine tactics. I think we definitely need to make use of the midget sub carrying capabilities of a good number of our submarines. Of course, we also do need to make use of their mine lane capacities as well. I think the case might be a relatively undefended port, or a relatively lightly defended port, like, for example, over here at Suva. What we could do here, then, is potentially have a couple submarines head into the port van at Suva and mine the actual port itself. The mines wouldn't last very long, but it would be quite nice if we could have a couple mines here in the port that could cause them issues. That'd be very nice. Or even, in the future, depending on the port, maybe a couple days ahead of time, we have some submarines head out there with of course, their mines. Now, maybe like a week or 2 weeks in advance or something like that. But we sow down some mines in, let's say, for example, we're invading Noumea, but we're going to invade it in January, well, 2 weeks into January. So it's like, okay, we can't hit it now, but we do have submarines available at the moment that are equipped with mines. Okay, let's go ahead and mine the port at Noumea, at least the harbour at Noumea. That's going to cause some issues in the short term for THG, but of course he's going to know, right, okay, something's going to be happening in Noumea. But if we do it on a larger scale, like do it at different ports and really sort of keep it up throughout the war, at least he might not be right, okay, that's where he's going to be attacking. We need to try and keep him guessing in as many ways as possible, but it would be nice to try and give him a little bit of fright, really try to deny him. Of course, if he has to destroy minesweepers, it would be a costly tactic, but it could be something that works. Okay. As we do have 3 submarines obviously now moving in towards Johnston. I do have my submarine over here to Canton Island, so we do have another submarine available. And we do have another submarine available at Funafuti to use as well. Suva is under level 4, meaning the subs can't hide at the port. Prime target for mini subs. Yep, be really good actually. I think it'd be really good to use them like that. Now, RO64 doesn't have the longest range or non-endurance, but she does have the endurance that she reaches down here. So they're going to be sent over to Suva. I'd really need to try and step up the actual activity in this area to a degree. I'd have more submarines heading out to Australia and New Zealand, but the thing is I'm lacking endurance. I really am lacking on that endurance here. So that's something that is pretty much holding us back at the moment. Now I do have I-174 over here. I-174, 4,902 mile range there, give or take. I love you too, Carl. Yeah, but that's correct. Small ports would be fantastic targets for that sort of raid, and it's something I really want to do. Okay. We'll have another submarine head out here then to Suva. I suppose I'll patrol around Nadi as well. If I can really increase the activity around here, then it does help to prevent him from reinforcing or bringing additional troops to the other islands. It's honestly tipping him off to what's going on, but he knows something's going on over here. He absolutely knows. Okay, so Katori's heading back. The 2 destroyers are going to be heading back. But with the, well, with Baker and Canton Island secured, at least we do have options here. Now, our bloody flying boats over here have been stood down for the, well, last turn. What I'm going to do here, then, we need to try and figure out how we're going to use them. The issue is service rating is quite hard to look after. Okay, I can actually put a couple of reserve in there, which is nice. Fatigue is quite high in them. I think what we need to do here, then, is run... I'd say about 70-30. Or even... Yeah, we'll go about 60-40. So 60% of the squadron will be out there searching... I could even go with 50-50 actually, like half rest, half... Yeah, okay, we'll go with 50-50. I think at least in that manner we have that. I'm going to make them head out at full range. I do need to try and gather that information. I could be playing the game, and yet here I am. Hello there, Troop Heart, how you doing, my man? I know this is going to increase the amount of fatigue on the actual airframes, but I do think it's absolutely worthwhile doing so. Okay, could they be increased? I do wonder. Doesn't seem like I could resize them. Max 12. I wonder if that's why they can't merge. No, that doesn't seem right. We do have the H8K1s over here. And I do wonder, you know what, I'd love to know if I could actually have them brought out and made use of. And they're actually not here yet. They'll be there in 47 days. Okay. I think we might have some more. Yeah, I have some here. Okay. But they're, okay, they're actually attached to 24 Air Flotilla. Are they? Okay. Let's see here then. So, ground base units. No, I actually don't have them yet. Okay, fair enough. Not long though. And chase that heavy cruiser near Hawaii. The only reason it's out there has to be heading back to America. Maybe. We'll see about that. We'll have a look. Moving southeast. It looks as if he's heading to Palmyra. I think that really is... I think it's actually just sending additional troops... Well, additional shipping out here. Now, of course, you're heading to the US. These subs are heading to the US. We do have a... I think what we need to do here is actually try and use the submarines differently. So I think rather than try and chase him down... well, chase down shipping over here, I think what we'll do is actually head south and head towards Palmyra. Well, actually, let's take a look over here. So if he's heading on a direct path to, let's say, Palmyra. Okay, so we need to try and head him off over here. There we go. Threat tolerance is high. Three ships over there. But I think what we're going to do here is, for the most part, we'll really reassess our operations around Pearl Harbor. I think what we'll do is, for the most part, keep activity around here. But rather than staying somewhat stationary, we'll look at where the enemy is and really move away from the actual patrols. And try to find where his openings are in these actual patrols and exploit that for the maximum benefit there. I think that's the way we need to run these things. Because frankly, we will eventually suffer damage, we will eventually be destroyed. And it's a matter of time, really, while we're around here. So let's try to shake things up. Let's try to keep them guessing. I mean, this is my bloody midget submarine. It looks as if he's finally trying to actually sink the midget. Fucking midget's been there for ages. Absolutely ages. Yep, so we're going to have our submarines head out down this way. Now, we do see a heavy cruiser and a destroyer. Or as if we could try to pick them off, that'd be excellent. Okay. Now, I do have you over here. Now, you do have a search plane. You are running reconnaissance here. What we're going to tell you to do is actually run naval search. There we go. A patrol around here to the north end. Like so. Though what I'm going to do is actually push out the boundary a little bit further. There we go. The reason for that is we try and drop the detection. Because he's running something over here. He definitely has something in the way of aircraft, perhaps. Or even ships, maybe. Or something like that. Maybe even like a coast watcher. But there's definitely something there. See, Christmas Island actually has a airfield, which is quite nice. A level 2 port. Very handy, actually. So that'd be a nice target to take. It'd actually be quite nice, considering it would allow us actually to take control of the Island. Not bad. And then our subs outside America with seaplanes, are they searching? Not many of them actually do have seaplanes. Yeah, looks like we lack seaplanes. A lot of them have probably been shot down for the most part, to be honest. Oh, you do have one, okay. No, but I like one down here. Okay. Oh, so that's something we'll try to make up for. Now, we are aware of the fact that there are submarines operating here. I think we have a, yes, we do have a float plane here. Awesome. Okay, so you're running naval search, which is extremely handy right now. Now, I do have the E-138. Let's see, transfer to ship. Let's see. See, I suppose the thing is like, these E-138-1s are kind of out here without a paddle. I could have them sent on board the actual AMC. A tough question. Because at the end of the day, while they're here, they actually do give us some forewarning of something coming to attack Midway. The issue is the fact that there's really nothing here at Midway to defend, obviously, other than the actual troops already on Midway. So I don't think it makes a massive difference, does it, whether we actually leave it here or not. So perhaps we have it board the AMC. We can actually take it back to the rest of the squadron and make greater use of it in the end. I believe seaplanes could be used as spotter for Wolfpack tactics. Yeah, that's what we use them for. Okay, I'm going to have it transferred to the ship. So we'll have it transferred over here. No, I do still have you. You can't be transferred. But you'll be ready in about a day, so that's fine. I'll have you just continue to run naval search operations then while you're here. Or at least then we have another search plane over here which can be used. Yeah, you can actually run 2 search planes, which is quite nice. I don't know if they can both run at the same time, but that's super, super handy. There we go. I'll run your night operations, actually. Now I'm still loading these troops over here. Yeah, I'm aware that only 1 plane transferred. It looks like it might be due to their capacity being at 2. I mean, maybe they could be pushed over capacity, doesn't seem like it at this moment. But that's not too much of an issue. At least one of them's over here. It's not actually repaired, but should it be repaired the day after, at least it can maintain position here at Midway. Should it be able to transfer aboard, then we will do so. I don't think there's too much left in the way of loading troops, so 3,000, well, 3,148 of 8,000, okay. Well, of course, I don't think we can load the entire unit. Okay. Now, I do have a decent amount of supply here, so I'm going to actually begin to fortify the island. Oh, we already fortified the island. Okay, that's good. It's going to be extremely slow because we have no engineers, though. That's the issue. No. I probably should begin to fortify Wake. Yeah, we'll begin to fortify Wake. We do have supplies on their way over here to Wake Island. So it's going to take some time to actually unload all these men here due to the amount there. But that's something we'll have to try and deal with. Right, you're heading out towards Wake. Hello there, Reinhardt. Jen, how many weapons do we give to that AMC? All the weapons. Indeed, we'll be hunting some cruisers. Right, how do I wish to actually use this submarine? Can subs resupply from Midway? I don't think the port facilities at Midway are large enough. I mean, if we had fuel there, which we don't have fuel there, we could actually seek to use it as like a refueling base. If I actually moved a submarine tender out that way, we could actually use it to resupply our submarine effort. But as of the moment, we do not have that capability, so that's something that we are constrained by. Sadly enough. But in the future, maybe we'll be able to change that situation. I do think that there's submarine over here, and it's like, how do I wish to use it? It might be useful in the Bismarck Archipelago, or it might be useful as something of a defensive asset. We are lacking fuel on some of these islands, like Canton Island has 42 units of fuel, Baker has 0 pretty much. It really been drained dry. I could use it over here at Palmyra. It's quite distant, though, 44 hexes, so not too typically close. I could use it at Johnson, but not particularly close either. So I think at the moment, I'll have them head towards the Bismarck Archipelago. Though, I don't know, let's see. I'll have them, I'll have them head out here towards, like, the, Solomon Sea or Coral Sea, whatever you want to call it. Make use of them that way. Yeah, something like that. Let's see, do any of these islands have fuel? You do have a little bit of fuel. You have a bit of fuel. Okay, what I'm going to do is actually head over here, pick up a little bit of that fuel. Then we'll head back towards the Bismarck Archipelago. Okay, you're heading out there. I'm going to tell them waypoint, head out to the north. The reason for these waypoints is due to the fact that we are aware of submarine activity here. It is going to mean a day or two extension in actually reaching Wake. But it means that we do have a much greater chance to actually survive and make it to Wake. No. I could actually put them on full speed, but it doesn't... Yeah, I mean, we're getting another hex, but it's not particularly worthwhile. Right. The good news is, once we actually have the engineers installed here at Wake, and I can actually look at fortifying Wake and actually turning Wake into a proper base. From Wake, we could then actually extend our reach once Wake has actually been turned into a proper airbase, into an actual base of usefulness, really. And well, yeah, I'm going to say an operational base. I could then move towards fortifying Midway in a greater way and actually making Midway far more usable beyond what it is at the moment, which is just a barely held outpost for the most part. Because right now we really don't have much in the way to stop him, should he actually wish to come back and take Midway. The good news is, he's not in a massively good position. It's difficult for him as well. Which is nice. It is very nice. Okay. We just need to try and really bite him as much as we can. But I do want to actually base naval bombers out this way. And then obviously down here. I just really want to try and prevent him accessing this part of the Pacific and actually really moving in on my own supply lines. We know there are submarines here. We know there are submarines out here in the Sea of Japan. And Tsushima Strait, really. Now, thankfully, we do have destroyers here protecting these cargo ships, but the thing is, it's not going to last forever. Lay mines. Okay. We'll have you patrol through the strait. There we go. Another patrol boat over here. So at least we will be sending additional patrol boats into the area. And we do have like 30 or 40 or even more patrol boats being converted over in Osaka. So that's going to be fantastic. And the good news is I'm going to be able to use those. And I'll use them really, probably mostly for like convoy escorting duties for the most part. Okay, I do have some chasers over here. Oh, right, I forgot about these guys. Difficulty is I don't really have much to transport them. Okay, I can't believe I forgot about them. They're really quite good as well. And let's see here then. Do we have any engineer vehicles? No, just engineers. But a great number of engineers, so that's quite nice. Right, how do we make use of those guys? Well, first and foremost, I need escorts, so we might have to wait for an escort to become available. I do have a bunch of mine layers out here. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do here is actually transfer additional sub-chasers into the area. Okay. We are going to patrol this area quite heavily with sub-chasers. Yeah, that's the plan. Right lane mines. So Fusan has 215 mines. Shibanaski, 392 mines. Fukuoka, however the hell we pronounce it, 465. 48 here at Ikushima. None, obviously, over here. Okay. I suppose they learned the lesson there, didn't they? I mean, they massively, massively learned the lesson. So I don't imagine Japan's really keen on actually seeing that one repeat. Okay. Yeah, 42 patrol boats there. Actually, just stand down for the moment. I'd like to have you repaired and made available. Right. That's very good. So we have 3 additional sub-chasers over here. Awesome. Yeah, this is awesome. So we are going to be basing... well, we're going to have a lot more patrols out there. Which is good. Very good. We also need to try and run some actual aircraft over this area here. And try and gather some actual information. That'd be fantastic. Okay. As a whole bunch of B5N1s. Are these B5N1s or B5N1Ks? N12s. B5N1s, okay. Super handy. That one squadron likes the panel. Which one was that? Right. So you have a lot of those in reserve, actually, which is quite nice. Really quite nice. But I mean, this is a fantastic squadron for, like, naval torpedo training. What do we think, guys? Oh, the one in Shanghai, okay. Right. Let's take a look at the pilots. So yeah, you can see their experience has really increased and their defense has really increased as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the other one. So we have these B5 M1s, okay. These guys could potentially do a good job, but then again, I really want to be using nice search planes. Keep those guys training. K-27s. A5 M4s. Right here is all the search planes for the most part. Okay. Okay, so rebuild this unit here. I'm going to have it transferred to Nagasaki. Okay, so Nagasaki, divide the unit. Wait, why am I looking at Sue? Right, Nagasaki. So I can't transfer you as of yet. But what I'm going to do is actually have them... I mean, I could have them run like SW Patrol, but... Yeah. They only carry very, very light bombs, so there's not really much of a use there. And what we'll do then is we'll run Naval Surge. There we go. Set all float planes, run by Naval Surge in the area. And then what we'll do is, once we're able to do so, is I'll have them actually moved around here. Okay. Let's see. So Fusan is the port that we're really... Is it Fusan? No, I'm not even selected. There we go, now we've selected Fusan. Okay, so Fusan is the port that we're really expanding here at the moment. We'll try to up that to probably something in the region of like size 10, really. That would be ideal. The reason being, so I can obviously bring additional supply in. Well, not supply, sorry, bring the additional resources. We need to be able to move more and more. And if obviously I can have it brought down to Fusan in Korea. And that'd be really, really nice, actually. I'd be able to do a lot with that. Okay. So, yeah, we'll keep that up. I'll have some supplies sent here, considering the fact that you need it. So we have a lot of our sub-chasers heading out that way, which is good news. This area was making good progress, which is awesome. Right, they're running ASW training. I'm actually going to have, so we'll divide the unit here. Have them run ASW patrols. There we go. Set all level bombers to do the same. Right, so you're in reconnaissance of Bataan. Right, they're training ground attack, that's good news. Frankly, considering that we don't have many Sally pilots. Which sucks. Okay, that's nice. 8 Sentai. Right. What is the size of the airfield here at Cow? Should be... Oh yeah, size 8. Definitely more resources than we need, that's good. Okay. So upgrade. If you'd please. So I do have quite a few of model... well... the KA-46-1, but I am building the KA-46-2s, so what we'll do then is actually have this squadron converted to that. But then again, I could also, yeah, what I'll do is actually... so it seems like that's obviously the better model, and we actually have it unlocked, so right-click. Do we have an advantage in, like, range? Yeah, we do, actually. But I do have those available. What I'm going to do then is actually have them upgrade to the 4-6-1. And considering we actually have more of those, I think you should be moving those troops to counter Luzon. Well, I mean, this is it. I do have what would be basically the 18th Division. I do have 3 divisions over here in Luzon itself, which in my opinion is enough. We do, of course, have the other troops that are available. What I'd like to do with the 18th Division is have it, have it pretty much assigned to the Dutch East Indies. I definitely need additional troops here to really try and gain that progress back. And just keep the bounce until you got plenty of D-Nuts. Maybe. I suppose that might be worthwhile. I don't think we're actually producing the version 1 anymore, are we? So we'll take a quick look. Yeah, I'd love to have the version 3. Yeah, we're only producing the Model 2, so yeah, we'll keep with the BAMs then. Shame I can't actually split that unit up. Okay, let's run reconnaissance then over Clark, really increase that. What altitude are they running actually? 10,000 feet. Well, Mindanao needs invaded ASAP. We'll look at actually using SLF, basically Naval Guard, that sort of thing, to do that. Hello there, Paul. How you doing, my friend? Okay, you're running reconnaissance over Bataan. I'd like to run reconnaissance over these other bases over here. Shit. Oh, no, actually, I can divide the unit. Fantastic. Yeah, keep it on Clark. Increase on detection. If you have the aviation support on Luzon, move the reconnaissance planes to Luzon. That's, yeah, it's a good idea. Less distance to fly means less likelihood of operational losses. Yep, that's a really good point, actually. We can definitely do that. We do have, well, aviation support over here, actually. 70... Yeah, what is the size of the airfield? Size 2, and it's 9... Wow, yeah, be size 3 in a moment. We actually do have a fair amount of aviation support over here on Luzon, which is quite nice. So I'll have it moved over there. Good point, Ben. I didn't actually consider that one. Interesting, I have an option there, change the kamikaze unit. I wonder if that is, obviously it's not available now. It's far from being available now. But it's interesting, it's the first time I've actually seen that. So I wonder if it's actually a requirement to be in like certain bases to have that option. That's a rather intriguing one. But yeah, kamikaze attacks are a long way away. Ideally we never have to perform them. Okay, what I'll do with these units over here then is have them changed over to naval search. Let the reconnaissance over on Luzon do the work on Luzon. Okay. Yeah, the question is going to be where do we actually use the 18th Division? It's a shame I actually can't combine them into a single formation, which is obviously what I'd like to do. We'd have to save a couple days of political points to actually be able to reform into a full-on division, which is for the best. But question comes down to where do we employ them? I mean, Major makes a good point then about having them sent into the Philippines, but the thing is, I think we have sufficient force in the Philippines. I think at the end of the day, I think we definitely need them to head towards the Dutch East Indies, like use them to really boost up our numbers there. Well, firepower. And I could actually have the forces attack, well, in Malaya attack Singapore and then have a division land into Malaysia, for example, maybe, to take Palembang. So that Snake, how you doing, my friend? I wonder why the Germans didn't invent guided bombs like Japanese didn't invent the bombs. I suppose the thing comes down to like technical expertise and technical availability. I mean, well, just availability of supply and technology, that sort of thing. Not always easy to get a hold of when you're under blockade. I don't know, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know that much. Okay. Now then, what do we reckon the amount of force is like over here, these Dutch bases? I'm not entirely sure on that one. I'd like to actually use our destroyers and APDs to actually run a operation from Miri or Brunei. Obviously, well, from Miri, would most likely. Gather some troops over here. We don't have huge amounts of them, but it would be very nice to actually surprise him by launching that sort of operation. We might be able to carry like maybe a third, maybe 2/3 of an actual regiment, perhaps. Well, no, a regiment, of course, something smaller. But at least a decent amount of troops anyhow. It would be quite nice to actually have them run over here to actually secure the airbase and deny it to him. So I do very much believe he is actually using that. It would be quite nice. I don't know what he has in terms of actual manpower there. Let's take a look at what we can actually manage. They didn't. They didn't. They were guided by the pilot. Man, I like that. And I like this over here from THG. So, Admiral, where are you? We need help, Admiral. Admiral, the Japanese are moving. Live look at the Admiral's headquarters. Oh man, I hope he's had a really fantastic time. Lucky son of a bitch. Doesn't that just look picturesque? But I do notice the lack of people. You always find these shitbags, don't you? Like, look at this shitbag over here. Like, what the hell is this? Why? You can't claim this by leaving what looks to be, I don't know, like some 70s phone. But that's awesome. I do hope THG's having a good time. Which is nice, because we actually can spend a lot longer on the stand than we normally would do. As I suppose we'll actually go through things in a bit more detail with a finer-toothed comb, really. Right. Oh, let's see. Lucky son of a bitch, though. So if I was to load troops, they can be completely loaded. We obviously wouldn't be able to load them. Unit may be loaded. Yeah. Okay, so I do have a 16th Infantry Regiment over here. So that is over 1,400 frontline troops. They only have 5 guns, however. 2 of those are 7.7 Type, well, T99 AMGs. Well, AAMGs. So nothing particularly spectacular. I reckon we could probably still pull it off. I reckon we can maybe do that. I'd be able to transfer... What's the load cost of the unit? The load cost... I don't see it here, but we'll go back and check the unit itself. So the load cost here is 2,449. Okay, so we can actually transfer about just, I don't know, somewhere in the region of about 25% of the actual unit, 25% of the actual regiment, which is not bad, not bad. So we're going to begin to load up the 16th Infantry Regiment over here. So yeah, I'm not going to tell them not to load cargo because we're obviously going to need some cargo available. I can carry 600 obviously their guns. Whether we take any of their guns, I'm not entirely sure. We'll pick them up. We'll have them made ready. Yep, obviously we're going to be carrying. Seems like they're 37% of the actual unit, which isn't bad. Isn't bad. So except the issue is that Fuji and Haji. Yeah, they're not too particularly quick. They do have some pretty good maneuverability. Of course, the Minakaze APD, the Nadakaze, has more, and the destroyers have even more, because, well, their destroyers actual proper... Yeah. Okay. Pretty much. We have got a bit of a groove going it. Need to try and keep it up. It's a interesting one, because obviously... there's so very much to be done on these turns sometimes. But we do try our goddamn best. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here then is have these elements loaded up. Right. We are going to go for that air base, though. I think that might be the best way to go. Yeah, Sinkawang. The port is only size 1, of course. The airfield is size 3. That's a nice port over there. I think it'd be nice, though. I mean, this obviously would have been a base that we should have taken a while ago, but let's take a look at the other alternatives. Yeah, nothing really particularly spectacular. I could even like have them used down here in Mindanao, but it's a bigger distance to cover here. At least this way I can hug the coastline, trying to evade his detection. Okay, we do have the carriers over here to support as well, so yeah, we'll go here. I think it'd be a nice one. I reckon we could maybe catch him a little bit off guard there. He's not going to expect troops to actually be moving up and down Borneo like that. So we're using our elements, using our ships here to the best potential, really. Okay. I think it could be quite good. I don't imagine we'll be able to take the base immediately. I think it very much depends on how many troops could be loaded aboard that force. But I think it'd be nice, because it's not going to take us too long to obviously move up the coastline there. Like, for example, could move 5 hexes per day at max, so we'll be able to cover this distance in 2 days. So the question is, he's only going to have a day to really respond to that. And the question is, like, how does he respond? Does he actually use the planes that would be otherwise hitting Malay or otherwise hitting our potential carriers, or, you know, that sort of jazz? Need to keep him on his toes. Need to really keep him on his goddamn toes. What do you guys think then to the idea? Do you like it? Do you not? Yes? No? Maybe? I like the concept. Yeah, nice weekend. Long weekend would be nice. Yeah, we'll go with that then. I mean, it'd be nice to actually have them head down here, but we do have forces on their way. I did go mission LCU graphics. Where did you get them? We have them available, so 1 second, my beautiful friend. So if you want to head down here, then obviously into the Discord, to the War in the Pacific channel, head to the pinned. That's a good point, actually. I forgot to re-pin something. Where is it? Yeah, this absolutely fucking fried my brain. I like saw this at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not in the mood to read that. Yep, here you go. So you find the post here from Marshall Tito last Sunday. Fantastic dude, man. Really helps me out. Love you, Lupus. Okay, there we go. We pinned it, and yeah, you find everything there. Okay, there we go, pinned. Lovely jovely. But you find everything there, just follow the instructions and you'll get it all. But yeah, it really does actually add some really nice details and nice graphics. Okay, so that operation's underway. We do have our AV over here at Miri. You do have cargo on board. Do you have cargo? Oh, well, you're actually not. I don't have any aircraft based here. I think what we might do is actually base some aircraft, like something like naval search, maybe. That could be a very good idea. I do have the actual support available for them to do so as well. I could maybe base like K-27s over there, but I wouldn't do really much in the way of good. Okay, yep, he's moving his ships out there. You have T2 on your hull. That's freaking awesome. I like that, my dude. That is pretty cool. I do have some actual comments in the, well, actual video comments to answer as well, so I'll do those actually after this. I do read the comments, I read all of them, it's just, usually I'll be busy when I'm reading them. Or just not able, just not have the time to actually type a reply. But I very much do take them into account, so yeah, never feel like your comments aren't read. They are very much read and appreciated. Sometimes I might miss them, to be fair. Okay. And let's look for some float planes. Something that's able to run reconnaissance for us anyhow. Okay, we are starting to repair our aircraft over here, which is good news. It's taken a long bloody time, but we're finally getting on with it. Yeah, okay, so 17 days, we'll have another one ready in a day, 4 days. It's getting better at the bloody least anyhow. Right, I'm going to take this element. Yeah, transfer them over there to Miri. Okay. Now, do I run naval search or do I run reconnaissance? Because it could be quite good to actually run the reconnaissance. We'll actually run that reconnaissance because then I actually have some idea of what he's actually doing there. So yes, we'll run reconnaissance, we'll run that 10,000 feet. We'll run that over there, but this is actually quite handy. So we do now have some reconnaissance planes out here. I do actually have range over all of Borneo. Yeah, which is going to come in really handy. I can actually try and use these reconnaissance planes to try and, well, gather information, which is quite good. Okay, so what I'm going to do here then is read some comments and answer some questions as we go down. Never done a bloody questions and answers, at least not for a very long time, so I suppose this is the closest thing. XTRG, what do you plan to do if the number of soldiers at Noumea and Fiji turns out to be more than expected? Okay, good question I hear you ask. Let's take a look at it. So, situation here at Fiji, situation here at Noumea. Americans have additional forces, which are more than we can handle with our own forces. How do we handle the situation? What we need to do is we need to cut the enemy off from supply. Once they're cut off from supply, so how we'd achieve that is, well, we'd have to find an airbase in the area. Or if not, we'd use the mobile airbases of Kiributai to ensure we have air control, well, the control of the skies. We'll start by destroying the enemy's airfields, and we'll then, over the course of time, actually, once the enemy is cut off from actual resupply, as they are definitely here at Fiji, they might have a lot of supply, but the thing is, we can destroy that over time, and obviously they'll be eating it. And we'll begin a prolonged bombing campaign. You have spiders on yours. That's pretty cool. Not going to question that. I'm not a massive fan of spiders. So that's pretty interesting. What do I have in my wall? I've got some artwork, which is, no, I don't know. I'd like to get some proper artwork one day, like actual nice artwork. I have my German officer's cap to my left, actually, hung up on the curtain. What year was it? I think it might be a 1939 cap. I can't remember what year it was when I bought it. I actually have a German officer's uniform. It is obviously a great conversation starter, that one, I can tell you that. Okay, so anyway, I'm moving on to that. Suburban Linton, how you doing there, my friend? How did the turn resolution go last? Well, we didn't have any submarine success, unfortunately. We did also have, well, we did have the enemy fail as well. Okay, we'll go over the combat reports then for Linton. So Argonaut actually missed over here. This was a ship headed to Wake. 123 did try to hit the Paul Jones and failed. 166 tried to hit the Paul Jones and failed near Batavia. At Pearl Harbor, we saw the AVD Hulbert and the Phillips. I-3 did launch 2 torpedoes at AVD Hulbert, but she failed. And then we did have our landing over here at Canton Island, which was amazing. Ikazuki, actually, I swear to God, this is perhaps the most effective bombardment I've ever seen by a destroyer, but yeah. 47 casualties reported, 3 squads destroyed, 4 disabled, 1 destroyed, 9 guns destroyed, 1 vehicle destroyed, and yep, Amazing. And we secure Canton Island, we secure Baker Island. We see here our ASW attack Nimiri, obviously the APG Fuji and Hagi, when intercepted by an enemy submarine, but no damage sustained. SW attack over here, 016, obviously this is Japanese, yeah, Japanese home waters. Our sweeps over at Singapore have no contact. Then, yeah, okay. Air attack, KI-51, sorry, KI-51's running really without the actual escort. I might have to divide a squadron, we'll see. I might not even run those missions again just because the likelihood of an attack there is growing now, as he obviously knows about it. So it's a hard one to decide on that. Okay, then we obviously saw these air attacks. We do destroy a couple of these bombers out here. Yeah. Pretty good for us in terms of air. We did have a number of our own planes damaged, unfortunately, but yep, I can see here we had DHD launch actual attacks on Kutabaru, which is something I need to take a look at. But we do destroy quite a few of his actual bombers, which is quite nice. And the issue is when it came to the actual B-17s, you can see here that we do lose a plane on the ground and a 6720 on the ground. We do see 2 B-17s damaged. He was fine at 10,000 feet, so ideally our AA is going to be effective there. Yeah. Actually, no, estimated altitude is 10,000 feet. Interesting. 12,000, yes. Right, I was going to run through these a little bit quickly. Some of them aren't amazing. Yep, then deliberate attack over here. So we didn't have much in the way of battles. But we launched our attack over there, Wuchao. And not much in the way of damage dealt, but we did destroy the fortification, so it's now down to 0. Ground combat at Mersing, we did see a bombardment attack. So looking alright. We do have additional forces there, but of course we need them to rest to actually make them fully capable. We land at Baker, and yeah, we suffer 0 casualties and we take Baker Island. We land here at Canton Island, and yeah, no losses as all of the forces were destroyed there, and we capture the island, which is good. Were there any aces? No, no aces as of yet. It's rather funny like that. Which never seems to actually... We've just never had an ace as of yet. One day, though. One day we will have an ace. And it will be awesome. Okay. I'm genuinely going to be quite interested to see when that happens. Spiders my home. I create new webs every week. Oh, jeez. I have Hitler, Stalin, and Tito pictures on my entertainment room wall and people... who are... Huh, interesting. Right then, so going back to the comments and answering them. Right, apologies if I didn't answer that question particularly well. You could always ask me again. Yeah, that one's been answered. Once you find carriers, you get your aces pretty much. Okay, the pig duck. Oh, right, my boy Assad is going to be the first ace, yeah, we'll see about that. My desktop is actually much better than it has been for a while. Restarted my computer and went to sleep 6 hours later with autoplay on YouTube. Roulette probably here. Oh, dude, awesome. Good to have you. I've been asked actually to do something of a mini tutorial for one of these. I might do that in the future. Timo being Timo. Why are there no headquarters in GB? Can't remember about that. Okay. If you move Kinabutai halfway between Noumea and Fiji, are you not worried about attacks from both sides? No, I'd actually welcome that because I would actually be able to devastate them. Yep, that one. Yeah, I feel bad for this guy. He's actually asked this question I forgot to answer. Right. Okay, yeah, I think we're caught up on that end. Right then, in before Dutch East Indies. Okay. Now, importantly, our troops have finally arrived over here at Georgetown, which is good. Let's take a look at the damage at Kutabaru. Oh, 0, okay. Well, that's fantastic, then. Not gonna argue with that. Not gonna argue with that. So the first RTA is marching south. 15th Army on strategic move. Yeah. Yeah, Uncle Timo, he's definitely a character within the community. I'm not gonna slag the guy off, but he's definitely out there. Yeah, that's what I fucking shadow it out. Okay. I don't really have much use for you right now, so I'm gonna have you just put on combat. When I can actually move you in the future, I will do. Yeah, he's definitely a fucking character. Okay, looking awesome. So, if I take a look over here, then artillery. So, I only have the 34th Field Artillery. Yeah, we are looking actually basing additional AA over here in Coto Bruno, which is very good. What do I have over here then? No AA. Obviously, I have AA over here at Singora. We actually have quite a bit of AA over here at Singora. I do have a 32nd AA Battalion as well. Right. What I'm going to do here is actually base some AA at Low Star. The reason being, he's not attacked yet, but he's going to be obviously aware of the fact I'm launching raids from there. But yeah, man, don't ever worry about like lack of production on videos. It's like I freaking stream. I do literally zero. I throw some music out there. Other than that, yeah, I mean, like, what do I do in post-production? I mean, you tell me. If I do something in post-production, I'd love to know, because I do jack shit. I'd like to say it's because that's my style, but in reality, it's just, I'm just a bit lazy. Really kind of lazy, so, I cannot but apologize. So yeah, don't let him bother you, dude. There's worse things out there and better people. Okay, so we have the Singapore Express. Now, how do we make use of them? Let's see. At what range can I move here? 9. I need to avoid the submarines here. I'm somewhat tempted to actually try and sweep the airfield down here. I mean, the issue is it's like I have aircraft carriers, but I just don't have the real weight of numbers. I don't know. I mean, I could probably move in here and not have to worry too terribly much about the actual amount of submarines in the area, but it would be nice to have additional support. Right. What do you guys think, Ben? How do we actually use the Singapore Express? Because frankly, I'm finding them in a weird position right now. It's like I don't think they're actually required here. I really don't think they are. I mean, what do you guys think then? Like, how do we actually use the Singapore Express? Do we actually have them deployed elsewhere? What do you guys think, then? Do we use them somewhere else, and where could we use them? I just think it's one of these things of, like, where, while they're actually still here, what are they actually contributing to the campaign? Because they're not doing too much for us. Hello there, Christoph. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, Singapore is actually still helping the British. We are closing in day by day. Once we do capture these bases, we'll be able to move down here. It's a shame that we actually didn't take Mersing initially, but hey, we still have troops here. Maybe one day. Yeah, so how do we use them? So I have a lot of surface assets over there. I suppose the issue is if we actually move out of the South China Sea with the carriers. can I ensure security? Would he send surface ships into the area? I suppose the thing is we also do have our naval bombs, but we don't have as many as we once did. It's a difficult question to really answer. I was wondering how could we use them? Maybe try to intercept the exodus to Australia. I'm kind of thinking, now I don't know what you guys think about this, I'm kind of thinking maybe we use them to support operations south of Borneo. Maybe. I think we just don't have the numbers of aircraft, or the quality of aircraft. I mean, we have the Zeros, but we don't have too much in the way of anything else. I mean, the Zeros are amazing. They do a good job down here. Well, the thing is, it's like... yeah, I think they could be used better elsewhere. So what I'm kind of thinking here, then, is... let's bring up the handy-dandy drawing pen, the Pen of Doom. The Pen of Ultimate Creation. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, then... so we do have operations here. So we have transports that are currently moving down to Bab al-Dawab. What I'm doing here is I'm going to run operations from Bab al-Dawab to seize these bases over here. So Balikpapan, Samrinda, and Tarakan. Yeah. So what I'm thinking here then is, so we'll have red for... Just pretend that says troops. That looks like fucking GU. That is meant to be a CV. Okay, CV. I'll fuck that one up. But yeah, what I'm thinking is potentially we have them. I mean, they could move this way very quickly. Though the thing is, it does put them into some substantial danger to an extent. So another idea could be... I mean, obviously we'd have to be very careful. But we could potentially move... like something like that. We'd have to obviously avoid being near Bataan. We'd have to avoid mines for the most part, but we could potentially do that move through Grigsby. I think that's probably going to be the right way. Or I don't know. I mean, I suppose at the end of the day we could just move down here, and it's like it's not going to take us too long to actually move down into that area. And we are going to be, yeah, like something like that. We'll be in the area very quickly. And we'll be in the area without much in the way of danger. So I think that's probably the right way to do it then. Considering the fact that, yeah, there's not as much in the way of danger that way. We'd be in the area sooner, we'd be able to maintain a lot of our fuel. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to do so. But then we'd be able to support our operations out here, we'd be able to support operations out in Celebes, or just really operations in this area in general. I think it'd shit a brick as well, because at the end of the day, what I'd be able to do then is obviously have Kidabutai. Once they're done down here in the South Pacific, they're going to be making their way up to Trek. When I'd actually have them then sent to support the operations in the Dutch East Indies. But what we could do is... I don't know, it could be like a really ambitious plan that we pull off here. So obviously the natural progression is down here through Malaya, then down over here to Java. What we could potentially do then is take the 18th Division from Takao, as well as a division here from the Philippines. And maybe, so let's say that we have 2 divisions there employed. And let's say that we have these bases secured, obviously with the oil and refineries. What we could potentially do then is have them steam their way from the Celebes Sea through the Makassar Strait, and actually they could try to seize this Javan base over here, the one that actually has the port capacity, the repair shipyards, air capacity. Which would be nice, because I suppose at the end of the day, like, we'd be able to move our troops over here naturally anyhow. Even if it was using barges or something like that. Though I'd have ships to be able to move them, I'm sure. We'd find some way to move them. I could probably have air cover protect them, and have the convoys take them over. But I'm just thinking, at least this way, we might be able to actually make use of the Singapore Express, of Baby Kidabutai. and really change the tempo in the area. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. What do you guys think then? Because obviously this is something that we're just spitballing here at the moment. But we do have troops actually moving into the area. So I think within, I don't know, something of a time frame of 2 weeks, give or take, I'd actually have these areas secured perhaps. And it would definitely be handy to have, like, carrier support and surface ship support in the area. Because the thing is, once I took control of these, I could probably base my naval bombers out here, at least attempt to do so. Which would be amazing, because then we'd actually be able to control the Java Sea. We'd be able to control a lot of the area. I think that's probably going to be the way to do it. Rather than having our asses chased around by submarines over here. Or worrying about bombers. We'll still have to worry about bombers, but at least there's going to be less activity out here. It's also going to put pressure on him here, make sure that there's no area in which he's actually safe. So yeah, I think we'll actually begin to move out from the area. I could move to Hong Kong to refuel, repair, maybe. 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 See, I'd like to take Congo out of there one day. Because the longer she's in there, the longer she's not actually repairing. Like, actually properly repairing. Hello there, Franz Ferdinand. How you doing, my friend? What's her speed? 21 knots, which ain't bad. She can definitely make it. So if I was to take... Yeah, I mean, we could maybe do it, but not easily. Right, we're going to keep up sweeping. I suppose if we get to a point at which he has no ability to run combat air patrol without it being shot down, then we'll be able to continue to bomb. You could wait for a rainy day. The weather's actually pretty bad in the area. If we take a look at the weather prediction. Rain. They can make it out, I'm sure. Without a range of bombers for the most part. I do have destroyers over here. Ah, right, yeah, never mind. Yeah, seems like that. Okay, what I'm going to do then... I'll have these actual transport ships moved into Kotobaru. I'll take the 2 destroyers there and have them shifted. I do have a couple of escorts out in the north, I believe. Yeah, we have a couple of escorts over here. Maybe. The issue, though, is with the full speed. It's like it could increase the flooding, so we have to be careful there. Right, we'll move all these elements down to Kotobaru. Then obviously be able to use the destroyer. So we'll actually have Congo shifted out in the next turn, I'd say. I'm going to say that's probably the best way. Yeah, I think at least in that manner, I can evacuate Congo and have her probably head to Hong Kong for repairs. Or maybe elsewhere. I'd say probably elsewhere like Nagasaki perhaps, because that would probably be the quickest. But we can definitely consider that option. I think it's a really good option to really have in the bag. But yeah, we need to move Congo out of here. We need to really take a look at what we actually have based here in Malaya and actually see what else should be moved elsewhere. But yeah, we don't need the carriers to be remain here for that. What's the nearest repair shipyard with naval headquarters? Wow. I do need one sent to Hong Kong, to be honest. I could really do with having Third Fleet actually transferred to Hong Kong. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the best way to do it. I'll probably do it by transport aircraft, actually. 4 hexes. Bit further. You could start it. Okay. What we're going to do then is... Yep, I'll use air transport statue to do that then. Any news on the war effort in the South Pacific? Well, things are going to head nicely. We did take control of Bacon and Canton Island last time, which is thankfully very nice. We do have ship sighted out here. We still have some ship sighted out here, but we don't see the heavy cruisers. We do actually see a light cruiser out here. I mean, I could try to intercept that, but it's moving southwest anyhow, so why chase them? And of course we do have Auckland to try and build up our reconnaissance there. So that would be quite nice. I think in reality, things are going quite well. Just need to continue it. Now, we're going to really take our time with this turn, considering the fact that THG's on holiday at the moment, so we'll take our time and really try and decide a few more things. So there's no rush here. Okay. Do I have a naval headquarters down here? I have a core headquarters, actually. But not a naval. I do have 120 naval support there. You are most welcome, my friend. Yeah, Takao would be obviously the place for the next Well, with the most naval support. I don't have repair shipyards there, though. That's the issue. Hello there, Keith. Okay, what I'm actually going to do here to actually speed up the process, or expedite the process, I should say. And I can only load transport, so supply, not actual. Yeah, I was kind of hoping I could have actually done true transport there as well, actually. It seems not. Alas. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear about that. Yeah. I think what we need to do then, we'll have the Singapore Express move into the celibacy. I think we'll have them head towards, like, Babeldoir, due to the fact that we actually do have fuel and supply there. A little bit of naval support, so whether that's handy or not, at least it's something. It's a size 3 port after all, so at least it has some, like, functionality. But we'll do that. We'll do that. We do have our troops moving down here. It's definitely going to be quite handy. And we do have naval bombers here to support us as well. I think at the end of the day, even with like a lesser carrier force in terms of size, at least having some actual solid fighters in the area would make a whole lot of difference. I can actually use them to suppress the enemy air power, or even shoot them down, of course, and then use the naval bombs to try and take advantage. But I think that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Now, this is where I'm going to end the stream here tonight, due to the fact that, well, THG's on holiday. We are gonna see a couple days here between the next turn. So what I'm gonna try and do is like pan it out a little bit. I know you guys will probably have mixed feelings on that, but at least this way we can actually spend some more time together. Do you want to upgrade the port for faster cargo handling at Babeldoir or elsewhere? And I could always upgrade the size of the port here in the future anyhow. I'll take a look. I actually have a huge amount of engineers here, really nice. I think the airfield actually just expanded here as of last turn. I think they did. Let's just take a quick look at something. So I have 12 A-System-2 in the pool. If I wanted you to upgrade, could you? Seems not. Okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to upgrade it, Babal. Would be nice. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it off here. I think it's actually going to open up some very interesting options, because at the end of the day, if we actually do move the carriers there into that position, because I think they've been kind of useless where they've been for a while. We have Zeros now in Malaya that can obviously organically support them in greater numbers. But I think in reality, it would actually give us a little bit more time down here at Fiji. Yeah. Is the combat report, did you take any more islands? Yeah, we captured Canton and Baker Island. Yeah, but that's actually really quite an interesting idea. So we'd be able to be down here very quickly. A couple of days would be down here in the operational area. I'd be actually trying able to intercept these ships out here. Yeah, base them here. Try and gain control of the area, try and shoot down his planes, try and just cause damage. It would actually give us additional time then for Kiributai to be down here in this area. I'd say we could maybe then spare some additional time. Yeah. we'll go with that. That could actually be a very interesting option. It does mean that we actually have some air support and actual solid naval support. I mean, like some solid surface warship support here in the area. Which would be quite nice, because we could effectively try to isolate Java then. Really try to prevent him from using the Java Sea with impunity. That's quite nice. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute pleasure. I do hope you have enjoyed this. And before I do go, I just want to actually talk about some books I've bought. So I've had Edward Miller's War Plan Orange, the US Strategy to Defeat Japan, 1897 to 1945, some while now. And I'm just going to go down my other ones, I'll be a moment. Okay, yep, apologies about that. And I am back, and I have now Sunburst, The Rise of Japanese Naval Air Power 1909 to 1941, and that is by Mark R. Piatti? Piatti. I don't know how the hell you pronounce his name. But that's another one. And then my final one here at the moment is the updated and expanded Hell to Pay. Operation Downfall and the Invasion of Japan 1945 to 47 by D.M. Giangracco. Yeah, D.M. Giangracco. So definitely some nice books to go through here. Need to get the bloody time for it. I'm looking to actually go into studies this year, ideally into history as well. So it'd be nice to actually have the time to read these things. But until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. I hope you have a fantastic evening, or indeed afternoon, whenever you are, whatever you're doing. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a patron. It really does make a massive difference, or via PayPal. Whichever works for you guys. At the end of the day, I'm not begging, and not everyone's a good Samaritan. We all have to eat at the end of the day. Goodbye for now, guys. Stay classy.